In this WrestleTalk news, rumor killers on a Bray Wyatt WWE return, Money in the Bank was more chaotic than usual backstage, a different SummerSlam return is possible, and more. Subscribe and enable notifications to always on for daily wrestling news videos.
Support WrestleTalk!
Last night's Money in the Bank might have seen Liv Morgan win the ladder match, then cash in to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. Bobby Lashley beat Theory for the United States Championship, and then Theory goes on to win a Money in the Bank ladder match he wasn't even supposed to be part of, like he's some big Brock Lesnar. But the biggest trending topic to come out of the show was the name Bray Wyatt. During the show, a spooky vignette played that didn't specify who it was for, and the commentators didn't really know what to make of it. And the reason Wyatt's name began trending on Twitter was because the way the vignette was put together was similar to the way Bray's old Wyatt family promos were filmed and edited. It also comes off the back of Wyatt posting a series of tweets last month that hinted he might be returning to the world of wrestling, which he hasn't been a part of since he was released from WWE in July last year. However, we are here to perform the rumor killer on this bit of fan speculation, as Sean Rossap over at Fightful Select is reporting that the video promo was in fact to build to the return of Edge. Now, in fairness, this is a bit clear from the video itself, as it shows relics that point towards previous Edge feuds, like Kurt Angle's gold medals, the Dudley Boy's glasses, Eddie Guerrero's lowrider license plate, and a few more. Edge hasn't been seen on TV since he was kicked out of his own Judgment Day group, a decision I'm sure they don't regret, as they've also not been on TV since they kicked Edge out of his own group. There's no timeline on Edge's return currently, but perhaps we'll see him in a match at SummerSlam, which would join Pat McAfee versus Baron Corbin, which was furthered following Money in the Bank going off the air when Corbin attacked Pat at the commentary desk. Pat even solved this attack by appearing at the UFC show in Vegas after Money in the Bank wearing a neck brace, like a true professional. And Corbin versus McAfee could also join Mr. Money in the Bank versus John Cena, who was on Raw this past Monday celebrating his 20th year on the main roster. Cena in theory had a backstage altercation on the show, but Big Match John made it clear in his Big Match promo that he doesn't know when his next big match will be, and no further angle was filmed between Cena and Theory for that episode. Following Money in the Bank, however, Theory cut a promo calling out Cena again hinting that a match between them will happen at SummerSlam. Or will it? Dave Meltzer noted in the Wrestling Observer newsletter on Friday that Cena is not currently planned to be on SummerSlam this year, and even speculates that a match between him and Theory could be delayed until WrestleMania next year. But someone else may be making their return at SummerSlam. Sean Rossap over at Fightful Select is reporting that Bayley is currently preparing for an in-ring return. He notes that Bayley has hinted as such on her social media this past week, and his sources have confirmed that she has been in the ring looking to return to action. When that is, he doesn't really specify, but theorized on his Money in the Bank review show with Denise Salcedo that it could be as soon as SummerSlam to pick up on that Bianca Belair program that she didn't finish when she got injured last year. Bayley was set to face Belair at last year's Money in the Bank before she picked up an ACL injury, which has unfortunately had her on the shelf since. Bayley's last match in WWE was on June 25th last year, and her last match in front of a live audience was on March 6th of 2020, where she teamed with Sasha Banks to face Lacey Evans and Naomi. Yeah, some things have really changed since Bayley last wrestled in front of fans. Like the fact that Stephanie McMahon is the interim CEO of WWE. Funny is, I may be making jokes, but according to WrestleVote, Steph led a company-wide meeting ahead of Money in the Bank yesterday to address a multitude of topics, and it was said to go down well. SRS adds over at Fightful Select that he doesn't know what topics were discussed, but backs up WrestleVote's reports by saying the vibe was positive. And that might be because Steph is apparently well-liked by talent. Both SRS and Denise Salcedo on that Fightful Money in the Bank review noted that the talent they interviewed ahead of Money in the Bank all had nothing but positive things to say about the billion-dollar princess, and all seem to be pretty excited about the future of the company with her as interim CEO. Funny is, though not everything may be coming up Millhouse, as Mike Johnson, a PW insider, is reporting ahead of Money in the Bank, the scene backstage in WWE was a little more chaotic than usual. Johnson notes there wasn't even a production meeting earlier in the day, with some of the matches still being worked on less than 2 hours before the show actually started. So when Pat McAfee said that Liv Morgan woke up on that Saturday morning not knowing that she would end the day as SmackDown Women's Champion, he was probably correct. Sean Rossap over at Fightful Select also backs up this report, saying that none of the finishes to any of the matches had been relayed to the talent ahead of the show, which, in fairness, sounds like a normal day in WWE. Johnson also hilariously notes that Brock Lesnar had been spotted in Las Vegas, which was the same city hosting Money in the Bank. However, Johnson noted that he was never going to be on Money in the Bank as he was in town visiting the UFC show down the road, because why would Brock show up for a WWE show? It's not like he's in the main event of the next pay-per-view or anything. Moving away from Money in the Bank and WWE, and it was announced yesterday that the Bastard Pac will make his first defense of his new AEW All-Atlantic Championship, not on Dynamite or Rampage, but here in the UK in Sheffield for Revolution Pro Wrestling against Shota Umino. The match will take place next Sunday on July 10th. Rev Pro have a working relationship with New Japan Pro Wrestling, with several New Japan talent regularly appearing on their shows, like Minoru Suzuki, Tomohiro Ishii, Zack Sabre Jr., and Will Ospreay, who's their current champion. But this is the first signs of a working relationship between Rev Pro and All Elite Wrestling. Pac won the All-Atlantic Championship at AEW New Japan's Forbidden Door last weekend, while Umino was on the losing side of a six-man tag where he teamed with Eddie Kingston and Wheeler Yuta against Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki. Someone who is defending their title this coming Wednesday, however, is Scorpio Sky, who takes on Wardlow for the TNT Championship. However, it would appear that Sky is not a fan of Wardlow's former employer MJF, who hasn't been seen in an AEW ring since his pipe bomb promo following Double or Nothing. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know a lot of the context of what comes next, and I don't need it explained to me in the comments either, but there's some guy called Kevin Durant, and there's a thing called the NBA, and they're doing a something or other, and he's doing a trade or something and whatnot. Anywho, AEW put out a tweet joking that Durant could be All Elite, and Sky posted a joke reply saying the going AEW trading price is Kenny Omega, Evil Uno, and 3 future firsts. Touchdowns. When a fan said they should trade MJF for Durant, Sky replied, "Why would Brooklyn trade one backstage headache for another?" Sky is the next name in a long line of AEW stars who have called out MJF online or in interviews about his backstage behavior. But there's still that hanging question in the air of just how much of this is a shoot, and how much of it is a work, and how much of it is a shoot work, and who bought the plane tickets? And it's not just Wardlow that could be a new champion this week, as we crowned a new Jam That Jampion last night.
Oh no! 19 minutes! We're at 19 minutes, less than 30 seconds to go. Seth Wick out.
Oh my god! I didn't expect this when I came into work today, boys! But we got 15 seconds left!
Oh, no.
Seth Rollins is nowhere in sight!
10
seconds
9,
left! I am
8,
proud
7,
to announce that there is
5,
a new
3,
Jam That Jampion!
1.
The Mountie always gets his man! LIW for life! Pete, I brought it home! Well done, Adam. I'm glad that you enjoyed your one-time reign as Jam That Jampion.
Yeah.
And because Theory was not supposed to be an entrant in the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, therefore he had no WrestleTalk avatar, the decision was made to defer to the women's Money in the Bank picks. And guess who had Liv Morgan? That's right, the now two-time Jam in the Jar holder. So I hope you enjoy your time with the title, Tempest, because I'm feeling a summer of DAD coming round the corner.
The perfect final Jeopardy spot, with Theory's last-second inclusion being a great tease that he could win, but Riddle valiantly fights him off. But nope, instead, they didn't do that. And Theory just won. In true WWE style, they finally strapped the rocket to make a new guy, but it's the wrong new guy. At least we got Liv.